What have you continues here? This is from my Jim reviews for past Jim films. Here is my review for a fun one, and that is the 2003 cult classic film, The Room. Alright, where do I begin at The Room? First, the Room premiered all the way back on June 27th, 2003, and starred, and it was and it even starred, directed, produced, and written by this guy named Tommy Wiseau. And here, the film pretty much centers around this melodramatic love triangle between this banker named Johnny, played by Tommy Wiseau, his fiancee Lisa, who's portrayed by Juliet Daniel, and his conflicted best friend named Mark, played by Greg Sesterio. And so, a singular portion of the film is dedicated to a series of unrelated subplots, most of which of, involves with at least one supporting character and all. I mean, this movie does not really have the best of plot, really. I mean, you have no idea what the heck's even going on in this movie. It is pretty much, let's be for real, it's a terrible film. It's god awful. But I will say this right now, it's one of the critics actually call this movie the Citizen Kane of bad movies, believe it or not. And I could definitely see why. I mean, this movie is just not so great. It's so dumb. I mean, how the heck this thing ever got made is seriously beyond me. But of course, they do got a movie about how the thing got made. It was that 2017 film, The Disaster Stars, with James Franco, when James Franco played Tommy Wiseau. You had Dave Franco in that one. I mean, The Disaster Room was not. The Disaster Artist was a really good film. But anyway, now this movie does have some memorable lines, obviously Tommy Wiseau's iconic line of "I didn't hit it." Sorry for that. Of course, his line of "I didn't hit her. It did not. I did not. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not." Hi, Mom. I cannot do a good Tommy Wiseau impersonation, but yeah. I've always loved that dude's voice. I mean, Tommy Wiseau, he was not good in this movie at all. But I say one thing: his personality, I have followed his Instagram stuff like that. This dude does seem like a likable dude. But sad to say, this movie definitely did not piece of cake. You also had Juliet Daniel, who she actually did not have a bigger career because I thought she was actually okay in this movie. I didn't really know if she was great or anything, but she was actually a little decent. So yeah, the writing of this the writing of this movie is just plain awful. I mean, the relationship between Tom Wiseau and Juliet Daniels is a bit odd. That's a bit of an odd relationship right there. I really did not want to see Tom Wiseau's behind, but that's what you get in this film. But I mean, this movie is just is it's one of the funniest non-essential comedies of all time. It's I mean, it's literally, believe it or not, the budget is supposed to be 6 million, and the box office is initial 100 100 900 in the box office. So yeah, of course that. But yeah, this definitely has some of the most oddest scenes you'll ever see in movie history. I mean, this movie is just plain. It's just not so good. It's plain terrible. It's just the writing is off the wall. The better parts of these movies are definitely the lines. Of course, the other iconic line of "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." That's a really iconic line. I mean, yeah, this movie's definitely not so great. I mean, I did quite like the movie of the Disaster Stars where where of course it was the movie about the making of this film, and it's insane how Tom Wiseau like who he became and all. So yeah, I mean, this movie actually, it got released in 2003. It literally became a cult classic. It actually even got released a couple early, like a couple of screeners. Most theaters will actually show this film once in a while. So despite it not being a good film, it's still technically a cult classic. I mean, The Room is just it's it's a thriller. Like you can't really tell if this is a comedy or a thriller, whatever. But the poor acting is does help us. I mean, if you have not really seen The Room, normally I don't really recommend films that are pretty terrible. But if you guys have not seen The Room, I'll say give it a watch. Like I said, it's not a great movie at all. It's really bad. But if you guys want a film, where you could potentially laugh, the Room is definitely it. Anyway, let me leave you guys. Have you ever seen the Tommy Wiseau cult classic, The Room? If so, what's of it? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? What were some of your favorite moments? Some of your favorite lines? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Senior Center.